Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I just don't know what to do in this situation. I'm 18 years old. I'm turning 19 in February. I have a $5,000 car payment, and I work at a light-duty mechanic shop. My mom and dad don't want me to live with them anymore. They'd like me to kind of move out of the nest. So I was just wondering, like, would it be worth putting a down payment on a home and just renting out bedrooms while living in it? Or should I get, like, a rental area and rent with a friend or something? I just don't want to screw myself over in the future with loans and stuff.
Yeah,
I know I have to pay for my schooling.
When you said a $5,000 car loan, do you owe $5,000 on the note, or are you paying $5,000 a month? Surely you're not.
It's $224 every month. Is what I'm paying.
But the total is $5,000.
I took the loan. Pardon me?
The total is $5,000.
Yeah, that's what I have left to pay. I had it out for $15,000, and I paid $10,000 down within a whole entire year.
Okay.
Good for you, Nick. How much do you make a year? How much are you making working?
That's the struggle. I don't know because, well, I've only been at the shop for 3 months, and I just passed my probation, and also I get a flat rate, so I don't get paid per hour. I get paid per job. So I could have an oil change takes 20 minutes, so I only get paid for 20, but if it takes me 30, I'm not getting paid for the other 10. So it kind of depends on how fast I am and how efficient I am at my job.
Okay, so the last month, what did you make? What did you bring home last month?
Just over $2,000. I think it was $2,200.
Okay. And do you see that being consistent month over month, or do you think now since you passed the probation period, all of that, do you foresee it going up another good amount?
It should go up, I'm hoping, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I know they're going to raise it up, but I don't really know how flat rate works too much. I'm kind of just learning how to do it still. But yeah, I don't want to move out. I'd like to live at home and like save up my money.
Yeah, why are they kicking you out?
What's the conversation with your parents like?
Well, they're not like fully kicking me out, but they're kind of just mentioning it that I should probably think about leaving sooner or later.
That's kicking you out, bro. They're kicking you out. So, they're just doing it. They're doing it slow and kind, but they're kicking you out. Yeah. How come? They just want their house back? They want you to fly? It's time for you to get out of the nest, or are you drinking too much? Like, why do they want you out of there?
I don't have any habits. I don't spend my money. I just kind of save it up. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't do any of that. I think they're just kind of wanting me to be on my own, probably for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, it's great.
How parents are that rate, so.
Yeah, I'm one. My 14-year-old rolls his eyes at me too, man. It's just kind of part of it.
So what I would do, Nick, is I would first sit down and kind of get a timeline of what their expectations are and what's reality for you, right? You've turned 18, you have a job, you're not making a lot. I mean, it'll come out to like, $20,000, a year at your current rate after taxes and stuff. So you're not making a lot to sustain a lifestyle. So I would be curious for them, like we're October, just to say, hey, mom and dad, I want to have more of a clear conversation with you on your expectations because I want to be respectful. I'm an adult now and I understand, I'm 18 and I can move out, but I want to know what you all are thinking because that'll at least give you a timeline if they're like, because if it's this weird period of like, oh no, Nick, as long as it's next summer or something, then you're like, okay, we kind of have a date. So I would get a date with your parents of like, here's when they want you to move out. And then, they get to set it. I guess it's their house. But what you're going to have to realize, Nick, is that, you're going to probably have to up this income. So whether it's that you're making more in the job that you currently have or maybe getting a second job after, because I do not want you buying a house, but renting is obviously the best option after moving out. And if you can get friends, and get a rental house and get a couple of bedrooms filled and you guys can like split the rent, 3 or 4 different ways, that's ideal, just to lower that expense. But as of now, that you're not making a ton to live on your own. So, I would have that conversation with them too.
And part of turning 18, man, is not the most fun, but you need to also have this direct conversation with your employer too. And there's a mindset shift that happens when you're 17 and you get hired on and they put you on probation and you get to work. The whole thing is set up as you should count your lucky stars that they picked you. But I want you to flip that around now. If you've been pulling your weight and doing good work and you're certified now, you're 18 years old, you come to the table and say, I'm happy to be here. I need some structure. meaning I need to know how much money I'm going to make. I need to know what the comp schedule is, what the comp plan is. If it's just me working 20 minutes by 20 minutes and I don't have any input on marketing, it's not like even like a barber who does a great job and they get to bring clients back. It's just you're wholly dependent. I'm not going to live that life. That's a tough life to live, 20 minutes by 20 minutes, depending on what car just rolls into the garage, right? And so you should sit down and say, hey, I've passed my stuff. I want to talk about what a long-term plan is because I want to be here and I appreciate the risk you took on me. I just need some guarantee on what this thing's going to look like. And then you have to make a big boy, grown man decision now. Do I want to stay here? But Rachel's point, dude, 20 grand a year, you can't live in Canada with that kind of money. You can't live anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And Rachel's right on. Sit down with your parents and say, hey, I'm getting the hints. Do you want me out right now? Is this 3 months? Can I have 6 months to save up so that I can put 6 months down on a lease or something like that? But yeah, you're in 100% no place to buy a house yet, man. Not until you are way more settled and you can put down 10, 15, 20% down on a home in cash. And that's after you've paid off your car, you don't owe anybody any money, and you got an emergency fund so that when the cars stop coming in the bay, you can still pay your bills every month. So you're just getting rolling, brother. But have those hard conversations with your parents and with your employer and be good to go there. And by the way, don't hate on your parents. They want to see you fly, and that conversation's a hard one to have, and they're probably trying to soft play it and be nice. And if you don't have the direct conversation now, Rachel, there's going to come a day when they snap and they're like, you're out this weekend, and that will be too quick for you. It'll just be a mess. So just be the adult here and go sit down and say, let's map out an exit strategy. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. And, to bring, I don't know, I think I would be impressed if my son came and was like, hey, can I know what the average, light, like what you're paying for lights and water, like even knowing what it takes to run a household.
Yep.
And ask those questions and build out a mock budget and be like, okay, here's what I'm short a month. If I were to go rent somewhere and let's say I got 3 roommates, rent on average, I'm looking around this with utilities, car payment, food, like this is probably what I need to live off of a month. Like you can kind of start making a plan and ask your parents those questions about what they pay, for utilities and that kind of thing. I mean, I feel like that would be a very mature type planning, and I think they probably would appreciate it. May buy you an extra week or two to live at home.
Well, and here's the thing: if let's say my son graduates and he just starts working at a local shop, and all of a sudden at 6 months after high school graduation, he's not going to college and he's still home and he's just going to work every day and sitting down at the dinner table. I'm more of a direct guy, right? So we would have more of a direct conversation.
Sure.
But if he came and sat down and said, "Hey, I've got a 7-month plan, and here's how much I'm making. I want to contribute $200, not a lot, but I want to contribute some to the water and electricity now. And I need 7 months, and by 7 months I'll have this much money." Dude, I would be so proud of him.
Yes.
It would be. I would want to support him in every way possible and help him get launched out. Great.
Yeah, in situations like this, it's the lack of communication is where the messiness I feel like always comes into play. And to know that we are more on this, or I'll say I'm more on the side of fly and be free. Mm-hmm. Like I think that you can stay somewhere and save money, and mathematically, financially, that's really wise. But for you as a person, when you're being taken care of by mom and dad for too long, into your 20s, you know what I mean? Like, and all of that, like there's just something to be said about being on your own. There's a character thing there that happens. There's a grown, you grow up faster when you do that. So I'm more on that side. But again, under the circumstances of there's seasons for different things, people go through different events at different times, and parents can be there to help their grown children in different ways. But it's the communication.
That's right.
That's always going to be the number one. So Nick, I would tighten that up with your parents, and that'll give you more of security of knowing. Hey,
and there's going to be a woman that drives in to get her oil changed, and she's going to say, "Can I come pick you up?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, from my mom's house." Like you're going to want to get your own place.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.